All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is going to be pretty straightforward. We're just doing some arena. Trying to get up the Cyber Weekend unit total. And I'm going to start in the 5-star one. So let's get cracking. What's up, Punjabi? Thank you for coming by again. Always nice to see you on the streams. Captain Easy, hey there. Same to you. I've got a little bit of a lofty goal here of grinding 2,000 units in the span of 1 week, and I'm fully aware that may not be possible. But we'll see. We will see. I do have a bunch of energy refills that I could use to go over the lesser difficulties of the event quests. So that would be nice. Yeah, 18k is the goal. We're at like 16 and change right now. So, 2,000 in 1 week is certainly doable if you do like all the arenas. And then if I do, like, if I use all my, basically if I use my spare energy and some energy refills to be just like auto fighting through some of the lower difficulties. Yeah. So yeah, and if not, if we don't quite make it by Thursday, Thanksgiving, then there still is a couple extra days to do it before the offers expire. So I think by the time the offers expire, we'll be able to get there. I'm not sure I'll be able to get there like by Thanksgiving Day. And it also largely tells like, or it depends on like how hard I want to actually grind. It's always easy on the first day to get a good start. And I'm not running recoil or anything right now, just kind of doing what I can with the spare time that I have. It's usually pretty easy to get the 2 top arenas done, but then the big grind is how much of that lower one you can get with the 4 stars. It's really hard to max that one out, in my opinion. Let's see, maybe we can do this real quick. I don't even know if you can see that or if it's worth having it up there. Just put it up here. I'm really bad at OBS, so I don't fully know what I'm doing. I think that'll work. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, that looks like a good placement. Oh, hey, Vega's here. What's up, Vega? Whatever. All right. All right, Captain Easy, I'm also 2k short. Might have to buy an Odin. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the deals are so good that, if the goal is 18k, you can definitely buy an Odin and probably get good value out of it. Hey, Valerie, what's up? Thanks for coming by. Thanks for playing. Thanks for being here. It looks like we're all kind of around that 16 plus range, aren't we? Devil Dog, what's up, man? Nice. So Captain Easy is listening without video. That's fine though. Honestly, the video, there's nothing exciting going to be happening on the video because it's Arena. Arena is all about just the hang, and you know this would just be me doing this alone somewhere. So it would definitely be nice to have some people around, and that's why we do this. At least when I have a little bit of free time. Because I find when I don't stream it, I end up like checking line chats and like going on Discord. And then, you know, playing Marvel Snap instead of Marvel Contest of Champions. And then checking my email, and it's like, oh shoot, an hour just went by, and I've only grinded like 3 rounds. Thanks, man. Thanks for the smooth radio voice. It's all the microphone. I actually have a much higher voice, but I have a filter on that makes it an octave lower. Obviously, I'm kidding. But it is a decent microphone, I'll give you that much. I don't know if fall allergies are a thing for people, but I am definitely feeling some. Like, I know I'm not getting sick, but I've got like a little thing going on. At least I hope I'm not getting sick. I mean, everybody's getting sick these days. Auto-tune, nice, yeah. I'm sure there's a way I could do that. I have Logic Pro. I could like really mess with my voice. Get some reverb on there maybe. Put it through like a guitar amp or something so it like rings like a tube amp. That would be sick. Valerie, yeah, Marvel Snap is actually really, really good. I really enjoy it. It's a much more casual game in my opinion. Because there's only one game mode, and you can kind of just play it infinitely. But also, like, the amount of stuff that you can do in a day is somewhat limited. And I think that's good, because otherwise I would be playing it, like, all the time. But I think they made a pretty good game. I'm interested to see where it goes, because as it stands, I think Marvel Snap is really fun right now, but it's gonna eventually kind of, like, lose its interest if it's because it's just kind of repetitive right now. But I'm assuming that they're going to, like, once they have like a solid couple months under their belt, they're probably going to add some other features. Some of the things I've heard people talk about is like friendly matches, because currently you can't match against friends, and that would certainly be fun. And then, you know, maybe other game modes or like some kind of alliance or guild type structure, I think. I've already have a bunch of friends who are playing it, and we were talking about starting a guild or whatever if it came down to it. But I don't really see it now. I mean, it would be like if MCOC was like only Battlegrounds. Like, that's kind of what Marvel Snap is. There's one game mode. It's relatively quick. It's like best of 3 locations. You have to win with your cards. There's definitely RNG involved, and there's definitely strategy involved. It's less stressful than MCOC as well. In Marvel Snap, I think it's just like straight up Campo without any like funky letters or anything. Because I downloaded it pretty early and there were no other Campos, which was nice. I didn't have to do anything fancy. I know these are only like rank 1 Korgs, but like I feel like there's been a lot of Korgs for the first round of Arena here. Like, what's going on with that? Kabam, come on. Arena's not supposed to be about like fighting Korg all the time. What do I think will be in the offers and what do I hope for? Um, I'm not sure, honestly. Like, I could see it going one of two ways. And first of all, I will say that, like, the CCP never, ever gets any leaks when it comes to this. If there's ever a leak, it's because somebody else data mined it. So I am flying blind here when I'm talking about it. But, you know, I could see it going one of two ways. Because July 4th was very rich on materials. But since then, those materials have become like very easy to get in the game, if that makes sense. So like because of Battleground Store, it's pretty easy to get SIGs, it's pretty easy to get shards, or it's pretty easy to get like tier 5 basics. It kind of just depends what you want in the Battleground Store. But because of that, there's like a little bit less demand for just about everything. So on the one hand, I could see the deals being like more of the same, like a ton of rank 4 materials, an awakening gem, a ton of sig stones, you know, like a 2021 champ selector, Cav Nexuses, like the EOP rewards on steroids, basically. Like, I'm most likely going to see that. My question is, what about the rank 5 materials, you know? Like, what are we going to see? Because they're starting to leak those into the game. I'm almost positive that we're not going to see, like, a full rank 5 yet. That would be insane. That would be very insane. I would be pretty crazed if that happened. But I'm sure there might be some trickle of rank 5 materials. And then my other question is, like, is there going to be any relics? Because I'm assuming, you know, relics are starting to be rolled out even this month, you know, with like the materials. And like, I'm not even fully up on how all that works. Like, I know there's a separate set of ISO and catalyst called like alloys or something. I don't even know how to do it. I ranked up some relics on the beta server, but I wasn't really paying attention to like what the catalysts were and everything. So, you know, the question is, will there be any of that, and will that be something to chase or not? My hope is that the 4 unit deals are the best deals, and that the Odins are nice and like convenient and cool, like reward you for spending, but that, you know, the best stuff is for actually using your units, just to give free-to-play players a little bit of a chance to, you know, to dip into some of the best rewards out there. So that's kind of where I'm at. Oh, gold crystals from J-Mania. Interesting. Yeah, gold is a big problem in the game, and until recently for me, it's been a huge problem. But I've actually somehow kind of got my gold problems fixed a little bit. I'm around like 15 million gold now, which is pretty respectable. So I do think they've been adding gold to a lot of things. If you notice, the Elder difficulty has 250k gold drops just like hanging out. And then where else? Eternity of Pain. When you complete an objective, you get 100,000 gold. So it's just like little things like that are helping. But the problem with July 4th was people bought all those deals and they got like so many materials and so many champs to rank up, and then they were like, I just don't have enough gold and ISO to keep up. Like, I literally saw people with their like 2 to 3 gems expiring. And I'm like, that is just ridiculous. Like, if there's not enough gold to keep up with the things that you just bought, like, that's a big problem. So Yeah, Jay, I kind of agree. I mean, I don't think it would be worth all those precious trophy tokens to be buying gold with them because gold is technically like infinitely farmable. But it in general, it would be nice that like when they do have big offers, gold is included with it, and I hope they get that right this time because I don't want to be seeing any 2 to 3 gems expiring again. That's just really silly. Oop. This fight's taking forever. Korg is killing me on offense and defense today. I can't win a fight with him, and he's slowing me down when I fight him. Yeah. Oh yeah, incursions, of course. Hey Tom, thanks for coming by, man. How's the Alliance War map looking? I haven't looked at it yet. Hopefully it's not too bad. We need a win today. Unlike most people, I am glad there are no gold deals a few weeks ago. Yeah, actually, I am too. And I know it's funny. Like, oh, I should go to my rank fives real quick. Hold on. Let's move on up to those rank fives and work our way down now. Okay, there we go. I agree because when the four these are the deals that were like you could get like a 2 to 3 gem or something by spending gold. And I remember when those did come out a year ago, I had to like sell my soul to the devil to get enough gold. Like I was selling ISO, I was like opening crystals, I was like trying to get enough gold to get these amazing deals because I felt like I was gonna miss out. And then like looking at it, you know, in the future, I'm like, that's silly. Like you shouldn't have to be doing that to get the resources needed to buy these deals. And you know, nowhere ever in the history of the game has gold been a currency for buying offers, you know. So I think it was an experiment and Kabam decided it wasn't a good idea for a few reasons. And one of the reasons is it's just bad for the game economy. It's like on the one hand, players are complaining they don't have enough gold, and then they're like, spend all your gold, spend all your ISO so that you can get these resources. So I kind of agree with you, Captain Easy. I think there are two camps of people. Like some people were really upset that Kabam had those before and they were like saving up their gold. And then there were people that were kind of silently relieved. And they were just like, you know what? I'm kind of happy I don't have to like, you know, sell everything I have to get this gold. Oh no, Yate forgot to join war. What are we gonna do? We just have to win enough to get gold 1. All right, let's get these bots under control. And hey, Smio, you're not a bot, so I appreciate you being here. How's it going over in LVT, man? Looks like you guys are doing really well. Last year's gold deals required 10 million gold. That's a good stat. I didn't remember exactly how much it was, but I will tell you, if I had 10 million gold right now and I spent it, that would really hurt my account. Yeah, grinders and big whales. I think the major source of gold, and this isn't something I came up with in my own head. It's something I've heard people talk about, and I agree with. The biggest source of gold is opening Cavalier crystals because you dupe so many champions in those big openings, and then you get all the ISO that you can sell. You know, so if you're wondering why people that do big cav openings have a lot of gold, that's probably the reason why. You really just end up selling so many giant bricks of ISO. Like if you figure, you know, if you open like 10 of them, just 10 cav crystals, and then you think about all the ISO you get when you do a 4 or 5 star, definitely adds up. Hey, what's up, Zuzu? Thanks for coming by, man. Not a bot, last I checked. Nice. Things are awesome at LVT. Really liking it. Hopefully we don't do any AQ with the update coming out. Can't go back to that mode. Amen. And hey, J-Will. Sorry, I didn't say hi to you earlier, man. Nice to see you, J-Will. That is, of course, Jason and Jabari Gaming. He's got a great channel. He started his channel, as far as I know, kind of right around the time we were in SSX1 together. And it's been really fun to see your channel grow, my friend. You were part of the Vega Battlegrounds Champions, and I know you're playing some other games on the channel as well, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, Zuzu also has his own channel. You may know him as Azoline from the game. Got some war videos and other content on there, and I believe he's starting to stream a little bit as well. So definitely, if you're not subscribed to those fellas, go for it. Easy enough to just click on their profile and find their channels and just give them a sub and a like on their last video. Whoops. I have 35 million gold and still feel poor. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because, like, all it takes is one big set of rank ups and then you're just back to none again. Okay, so this guy's pretty annoying to fight in arena. Like, right out of the gate, getting some Iron Dooms. Like, when an arena fight means you throw a special 3 and that doesn't kill them and the fight goes on for another minute, like, that's kind of a crappy arena fight. Ice cold. I need only 10k more units to get the 18k. 10k, you can do it if you start now, man. 10k is a bit steeper than what I'm up against. I have to get 2k. Which is still probably not gonna, in all seriousness, I'm probably just not gonna make it. But I actually didn't spend a dime or a unit on July 4th deals. And I think I'm proof that you will survive, that your account will survive if you pass the deals. It's something that Brian Grant often says, right? Which is like, hey, these deals are really good, but you do not have to get anything. Like, and I think it's proof, like, I'm a really good case of that, because I was playing pretty competitively and then took my step back, and then I didn't buy any of the deals, and now I'm also, like, not doing map 8, I'm not doing Masters War, I'm not, like, and yet I'm totally fine. Like, I have a lot of rank 4s that I really enjoy using. I'm still pretty competitive in stuff like Battlegrounds. You know, most of the time, if you do just play the game, you're gonna eventually catch up to like a level where you can kind of compete. The only thing that you will never be able to compete in is prestige. But you know, there's levels of competing with prestige, and one level is just having decent sigged up champs that have okay prestige, and then there's like, oh, I want top 5 AQ, which is pretty inaccessible for the average person, to be honest. So, you know. Let's see. Jayla says that's true. We did start our channel when we were alliance mates. Thanks for the shout out. Of course, man. Of course. Oh, you beat FinTech in the fall brawl? I didn't know that, man. Oh man, I did not track that happened. That's incredible, dude. Congrats. FinTech is a beast. Waiting for BGs to return as far as streaming goes. Yeah, I will say Battlegrounds are probably the best things to stream. Aside from like if it's the first day that content drops and you do new content, that's usually another one that's a little bit more you get some good views from that. But yeah, Battlegrounds is very entertaining for the audience in my opinion. Whereas Arena, not so much. I mean, I appreciate that everybody's here, but when you stream Arena, it's more just like about the hangout than it is about like, oh, look at me doing this amazing content. It's just freaking Arena. Okay. This is my 565 Strife that I specifically ranked up for the Mutant Abyss Challenge a while ago. He put in some work there. It was pretty fun. Oh, that didn't kill him. Oh no. How did that not kill him? We're gonna die. Oh god, that hurt. Okay, he's gonna go down though. Costing units switching masteries to play Arena during the war season. Yeah, see, pro tip, just don't. Hold on, I just gotta take my sweatshirt off. I am not running the recoil tree right now, and obviously it would go a lot smoother if it was on. Arena's pretty annoying with it off, but I'm sort of like, I don't want to spend 70 units so that I could get those 70 units back slightly faster when I'm kind of pinching like every unit right now. Yeah, I agree, Captain Easy. Streams are really fun. I enjoy going to like DLL streams or Vegas streams in particular. They're always really fun. I like DLL streams too because occasionally he'll give you a little bit of insight from the game dev perspective. It's never like a spoiler or like anything that would violate the NDA, but sometimes, you know, you can just learn something about like one of the whys of Kabam, you know, like, oh, they did this thing that made me upset, but now I can kind of see why maybe they would have had to make that decision type of thing. Hey, Infamous, what's up, man? How have you been? Infamous is another Elsa Bloodstone lover, of course. Good to see. Ice Cold, and now Relics is added to the mix. Yeah, I assume so. I haven't... Did they announce the next season of BGs yet? Probably not, because we're still waiting for the rewards, but... yeah, I'm very much waiting for those rewards. I have no idea when they're coming. But yeah, I'm assuming that we have the Reliquary event right now, so I'm assuming that the man, we are just taking special threes all over the place here, aren't we? I'm pretty sure that relics are gonna appear in Battlegrounds soon. I'm not sure of like how many and how that's gonna work. I still don't even really know like what we're getting from these resources. Like I'm doing the Reliquary and it's like, great, tier 1 alloy fragment crystal. Awesome. I don't know what that does. Like, does that help me rank up a 3-star relic? And then it's like, what is a 3-star relic? Does that mean it can only be attached to a 3-star? And I think the answer is yes. I think it's like the rarity of the relic can only be attached to the same rarity or something, but I don't even know, man. I do not know. You would think I would know these things, but I don't. Let's see, Zuzu. I'd like to touch on that topic of prestige. I really hated the prestige race from the start, and not being able to land certain high champs just sucks. It's also sort of an endless race. Yeah, it is. It's definitely one of the biggest forms of monetization in the game, for sure. And I've like when I was a battle group officer and stuff in SSX, like people would often ask, like, "Hey, should I rank up this or that and all that?" And you know, just using that as an example, we were never competing for top 5, top 10, stuff like that. So at the time when like Thor Ragnarok was number 3, and they were like, this is just an example, like, oh, I've got Nick Fury or I've got Thor Ragnarok for like my first rank 3 or first rank 4 or whatever. I'm going to be like, hey man, or ma'am, or whatever, you do what you want to do, but just know that like the slight prestige bump that Thor Ragnarok will do on our AQ is probably not going to be as big as that Nick Fury is going to do for us in war. And then on top of that, you're like, well, if you can get that Nick to Sig 200 though, then at least it's like respectable prestige. Like it's in the range where like it's not going to be actively hurting your accounts, but it's like not going to be as good as Thor. But the key is picking your champions that are going to be your Sig 200 champs and just committing to them, and then slowly you can add more and more. But the prestige race is very much in like people's heads too, because they're like, I need, back in the day it was like, I need Sunspot, I need Surfer, I need Doom, just so that I could get into like a top 30 alliance or whatever. But honestly, like, I don't think that's as important as having champs that you enjoy. You just don't want to like handcuff yourself with prestige where it's like, oh, I ranked up this, I don't know, Wolverine X23, and she's going to be my number 5 champ. I mean, she's got really bad prestige, so you know, it's all relative. I know that like a lot of people struggled, like Slaymon was one of them, like struggled with like the Omega Red thing. But it's like, dude, you love Omega Red, and Omega Red is such a ridiculous champ that take the hit, because if he's in your top 5 now, like you'll probably get, Omega Sentinel or Cersei or Valkyrie or like one of these champs that has like respectable prestige, and you can rank them up and then have them in your top 5 eventually anyway. And then you got to think about like how long that Omega Red is going to be serving you in the interim. So yeah, I think going back to Zuzu's comment, like the prestige race, it's meant to be that it's unending, that you will never win. And once you start spending to get the top of prestige, you have to keep spending. And that's the point. It's like you can't just be like, oh, this Cyber Weekend I'm going to whale out and spend all $600 and get all the offers. And then, in gifting, I'm going to whale out and spend like, over $1,000 or whatever and just get a ton of GGCs, and then I'm going to be set. Well, you won't be, because then there's going to be another doubloons event in a couple months, and then there's going to be July 4th, and if you don't spend the same amount, then you're not going to keep your place. So it's much easier to just be like, how can I have fun in this game? How can I spend or not spend in a way that feels comfortable for my personal life, and then just hang out with other people that think the same way you do, and it will be a lot more fun. But I love Kang. Yeah, it's true. Um, I mean, that's a good example, honestly, is the Kang thing. I mean, Kang has terrible prestige, but like if you think about the time when we were discussing the rank 4 Kang versus now, when you probably like Jay, well, you probably have what, like 15 rank 4s or something already. It's like now it's like Kang is just a drop in the bucket. Like who cares? Like a rank 4 Kang, if it's fun and you want to use him with Apocalypse and such, like go for it, man. And then now it's like it's not as impactful as when it was your like seconds rank 4. But even so, I think we could have been a little bit less hard ass about that back in the day. I'll say that now that some time has passed. I just know that Clowniest Clown was never going to assign Kang. Or like he would assign him for like one fight for you. I know that that was the argument on his side. But that's old news. So much has happened since then. I believe relics can be applied to their corresponding star level and lower. That seems correct. At one point I thought that it was like one off, like a 5-star relic could go on a 6-star and lower, but I don't have that confirmed. But it is a thing where it's like stuck to a certain rarity. So that to me means that relics in like a usable form for Battlegrounds are still pretty far away. Let's see. Jay says 15.5 prestige, decent now. And Days get into a decent alliance. Yeah. It's kind of just about looking at your options, looking at how many resources you have, looking at how many Sig Stones you have, and then just kind of like committing to certain champs, and then knowing that like just because you committed to one champ right now doesn't mean you'll never be able to Sig up another champ in that class. Like you'll eventually replenish those Sig Stones. And currently the Battlegrounds store has so many Sig Stones. I mean, if you want to get everything possible in the store, you won't get a ton of Sig Stones and rank 4 mats and, you know, shards and all that stuff. But if you want to focus solely on the Sigs, you can get a ton. Speaking of, wait, let's see. Speaking of X23, wait, where is that? There it is. I had to take her to rank 2 just to have a chance with EOP. Yeah, Thunderbolts, I'm probably going to have to use X23 and she's rank 1. So if that is not going well, I may have to rank 2 her as well. Whaling is a full-time job. There it is. Yeah, Captain Easy said what Vega said. That is the quote, and much more succinct than the way I was saying it. And okay, 15. I was kind of guessing 15 rank 4s, but that's awesome. And I did rank 4 King as soon as I left SSX as my 4th. You know what? I'm glad, because I think we were a little tunnel vision for you there. I hope they let you, Jay. Well, one less alliance as master is always good for us. Ha 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 ha. Nice one, work. Nice to see you, by the way, too. Yeah, I mean, Clowniest Clown is the man. Like I love that guy, and he cracks me up, and he's a brilliant player, brilliant officer. But I know the way he assigns stuff is always like the path of least resistance. It's like, okay, where are my Dooms? Where are my Warlocks? Where are my Torches? Where are my Nick Furies? And like, you know, where are my Archangels? Where are my Apocalypses? Clown is all about like picking the easiest path. So, like, if you're like, can you please path my Kang? He's going to be like, no, I'm not going to path your Kang. And that's fair. I mean, officers put in a ton of work. And at that point, he was planning 2 battle groups in 2 Masters Alliances. So, yeah, that's like a full-time job. I've been in a couple good alliance. I just prefer middle of the pack, mainly is because I just want to have fun in this game and use Battlegrounds to compete because the rewards are amazing. That's a really good outlook, Jay, and that's actually kind of what I'm doing right now too. I've joined VACC. I've been here for, I don't know, 4 months now, 4 or 5 months, and it's really fun because I join war and I have lane assignments, and I just kind of go up the middle and take a bunch of fights, and it's fun. And then, you know, if I die, it's okay. Like, no one's gonna give me a hard time. And then for Alliance Quest, often, sometimes I, like, forget to log in, to be honest. So, actually, speaking of, I should probably make sure that I took my last node before we move on. Because for us, like, as long as the boss goes down, we're going to get the same rewards as if the boss goes down and there's like 3 nodes left up. Damn, clown is funny. That's very surprising. He's got a good sense of humor, my friend. He's got a decent sense of humor. You know, if that's your type of thing. I like that clown has a channel now too. The thumbnails rival Rob Hop's thumbnails, though, I gotta say. Not that I'm like a thumbnail master, but there's a special place for people that make thumbnails like Rob and Clown. I love it. Okay, that was forward, not backwards. I gotta get through these. I feel like these Kang and Thanos teams are where you really feel the not having recoil on, because these fights just take forever. And we're still using just the 5 stars in the 5-star arena. I think I'm gonna go through all of the 565s, and then we'll move to the other arena and do the 6 stars. Let's get that started, because this means my 565s will potentially come back before I go to bed if I do this now. I mean, technically the 6 stars can come back if you start right away. But you have to kind of like stay up really late. I think for me, it's like you have to be playing till 1:30 in the morning or so. Where does the name Campo MC come from? So Campo 4 was a randomly generated name when I first started MCOC. And I just kind of went with it. So Campo is now... I got rid of the 4. And then at one point, I just sort of stuck with Campo and I changed the name to the real Campo. And then more recently, I've changed it to the what it is currently now, which has like a couple symbols in it. And then when I started the YouTube channel, the MC is just for Marvel contests. It's very creative. So just to distinguish myself from all the other gaming Campos out there. But yeah, it was literally one of those like game name generators. And it came out not too interesting, but I will take it. I guess it has a ring to it. I mean, I'm not very creative when it comes to like coming up with names for stuff. And also, like, I wasn't really thinking that, oh, when I download this game and just like make a random name, that one day I would also have a channel with like, you know, however many subs I have now. I would have maybe thought of something cooler. But at this point, it's what we are. I've never died in war with Kang, Jaywell says. Nice. I believe it. Dude can hit hard, and he can take you from red bars of power down to 0 power. I mean, that's That's powerful. All right, so we're at 1 million so far for this 5-star arena. Should probably update the unit total because we've technically been picking up a couple units along the way. And then I should just really quickly check on AQ, because I always feel bad if I forget to do AQ while I was streaming. It's kind of lame. Who were your favorites in BG's crit me meta? I did not like that meta, and I was pretty vocal about it. But if I had to pick a champion that was sort of underrated and really fun to use, it was actually Cersei. Because if you got to her special 2 and you cranked out like 10 Furies, and then you got guaranteed crits, it was pretty insane. The issue was just like anytime, you know, you were facing a Mystic or something, you were just not gonna do well because of Mystic Dispersion. But yeah, I think I don't have a really good roster for that meta, and I didn't run recoil tree, which is, that's on me for just being too lazy to run it. But I don't know. I think the thing I liked that it was somewhat skill based, you know, that it's like you had to land intercepts and know when to land intercepts so that you could get the most damage. So like I do appreciate that aspect of it, but I didn't like that it basically eliminated all red damage sources on offense, and that if you placed with recoil, there was zero deterrence to do so because your defenders had basically they would heal instead of taking damage, and recoil was inert. So you know, I look at recoil running as like there has to be some kind of trade-off, and in this meta there was really no trade-off. So you know, I'm trying not to sound like a sore loser about it because I have recoil unlocked, I just didn't put it on. But I just kept running up against these rosters where like I'm like, oh, I have Domino, that's a great defender, and then it's like, well, they just got to one special 2 with Warlock and she was done in 19 seconds. You know, it's kind of like, all right, that's fun. So I know some people liked it, but I think my playstyle and my roster, I didn't like that like so much of the utility and sort of the RPG countering that my roster had for the other metas were just like not important, because basically anything offensively, like the entire kit is turned off except for critical hits. You know, so like Scorpion is doing fine because of critical hits, but like his entire red damage kit is gone, you know. Overseer, the same thing, like all his red damage is gone. Spidey 99, all his red damage is gone. A lot of the mystics, Rintra was still cool because you could guarantee crit his special 2, so that was always nice. You know, but then there was like Man Thing and Nova on defense were absolute nightmares. just because of that interaction. And then also because everyone was running recoil, Elsa Bloodstone was a pain to fight. So it's just, there was enough about it that kind of annoyed me that I just wasn't a fan of it, of the design. And I don't think it was a lazy design. I think it was cool that there was something so different. But I just didn't find it enjoyable. Saw people complaining that people with recoil had the advantage, which is a welcome change because people that run those masteries always get the short end of the stick EOP. You know what? I will. That's actually a really good argument. So I will totally hear you on that argument. I think there shouldn't be a stigma against running them. But my point is that like the whole point of running them is that there's a trade-off. Otherwise, it's like just a free 60% boost. But that said, even if you're running it on offense, you have to play carefully and play in a certain way. So obviously your defenders have no downside, but on attack, you know, you still have recoil. And then also I know that some people were not running it and still doing really well because they figured out the meta and they had the right champs and they were really good at landing those intercepts. So it's definitely not like black and white. And I think it's okay for somebody to say like, I personally didn't enjoy the meta, just like someone else may have not enjoyed that auto block one. Or someone else may have not liked masochism, etc. But yeah, Eternity of Pain, typically those fights are so long that running recoil is not as fun. There were some ones that were pretty good though, I think. Like I remember when I did Elsa versus Modoc from Eternity of Pain, I actually did have Suiz on for that. But yeah, Cersei was really fun. I'm trying to think if there was another champ that... I think Kingpin actually was pretty ridiculous. Because his attack gets so inflated that if you give him guaranteed crits, he's pretty broken. So I was finding that if I had Kingpin in my draft, I would just take him. Like, generally speaking, you want it as much as attack as possible. So it's like if you have a rank 4 and you have class advantage and you could land your intercepts and get the guaranteed crits, you were going to hit really hard. And then you throw on top of that champs like Cersei and Kingpin that have modified attack, and you're in good shape. Wait for the inevitable Mystic Dispersion meta. Honestly, every meta is a Mystic Dispersion meta. I think Mystic Dispersion is like essential to so many kits of Mystic Champions, in my opinion, that it's sort of like, if there are Mystics in the deck, then it is a Mystic Dispersion meta, if that makes sense. Okay, we didn't quite do that right. Or no, I think we did do that right, actually. I haven't played Penny in a while. Penny's one of the only champions recently that I've taken to rank 5 5-star. I think that she's one of the few champs that can really punch up as a 5-star. And I also really like using Mysterio, so I was kind of excited to get her ranked. Cool. They always have option to just turn on off recoil. Yep, my rank 4 Kingpin was so good. Man-Thing, Doom, Domino, Warlock, any problematic defender with Kingpin was down fast. Yeah, I think I took a Mephisto down with Kingpin, and like I used his special one to just put the defensive ability thing down, and like I feel like he didn't heal, or maybe it was just a little bit of despair because I had like 2 of them up or something, but it was hilarious. Like, I wouldn't think against Mephisto I would end with close to 100% health. OG Storm, yeah, you're right. I heard a lot of good things about her. And Kitty Pride was pretty darn good too, because anytime you intercepted, you would get, and she has an intercept play style, you would get the guaranteed crits, which would then feed your prowess, and they would just like go up and up and up. Okay, actually, I hope AQ didn't end. No, we still have an hour. I'm just gonna really quickly check AQ. I think, yeah, I was right. I had one more fight. So I was totally gonna leave this fight up. Notice my dead Hercules in map 6, by the way. It was because I was playing at like 3 in the morning. Alright, AQ done. Nice. Easy. See, this is why I'm enjoying map 6 right now. And then I don't care, because if we don't finish, it's fine. Oh yeah, DAR doesn't work against Mephisto outside of Blade's Danger Sense. Good call. At least not... hold on. With Mephisto, it's one or the other. I feel like concussions versus passive, there's a difference, and only one of them works for Mephisto. But now I'm getting into territory where I'm going to say something contradictory that I'm saying wrong. But I feel like, first of all, there is a difference. Like, one of those two sources does work on him, and then I feel like there's also a bug where one of them is supposed to be working and it's not, or something like that. But now I'm getting into territory where I'm not remembering like correctly. For Mephisto, you said you spam special 1. Yeah. You and Work, Zuzu are both saying the same thing. So I'm trying to remember. I just remember like I nuked him down. So I'll change what I said. I just remember it being like a very easy fight when I thought that it would be a little rough. I think, I'm trying to remember, I think it's that if it's through a debuff, then it actually will reduce ability accuracy. But for some reason in the game, concussions and stuff like the weakness degen thing from Kingpin are still getting the immune proc. I don't know. This sounds like a DLL question. I'm thinking Mordo. Okay. But maybe it's a bug, because I thought concussions were supposed to work, because unless if I'm just remembering from all the years of using Quake that her concussion worked and that's a bug, which, I would honestly believe because Quake is busted. Either way, it's kind of semantics. My point was that Kingpin destroyed Mephisto in Battlegrounds when I didn't think he would. I'll really quickly read the ability, just because we're going down this rabbit hole. And by we, I mean myself. So yeah, it says passive ability accuracy modifications. So I think, and I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure that means not from active debuffs. But in the game, I know you're right, because I've seen the word immune pop up when I use Kingpin. So at least the way it works in the game, it does stop all of it, even from debuffs. So whatevs. Imagine a bug in this game. Never heard of it. Couldn't be. Or something in a description that doesn't match what actually happens in the game. And yes, he do be thick. Probably the most surprising rank, like in I don't know how I could even say this, but I feel like when I rank Ford Kingpin, he was even better than I thought he would be. You know, like because I know he's good, and I knew like a lot of really smart players had rank 4 Kingpins and stuff. But then once I started playing him at rank 4, I was like, oh, I get it now. He's just a really, really powerful character, especially the higher ranks he gets. Yeah, that could be with Apox Concussion too. Because I know, like, against Mysterio, the concussion just doesn't happen at all. I always think it's silly when I have a champ like Professor X where I could probably just like 5-hit combo her to death, but I'm like, no, I'm going to play Professor X like the way you play Professor X in Arena. I do that with Taskmaster all the time too. I'm like, oh, I'm going to exploit weakness instead of just like throwing one special 2 and killing them. There was a bishop I killed with him in 23 seconds. I wonder if I got reported. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, bishop, that's bold. You know, normally people go the other way around with bishop using against kingpin because of the shrug punish. Should I save my units for gifting event? That's what everyone tells me. I mean, first of all, we don't know what gifting slash not gifting, whatever it's called, is this year. Like, but what I would assume it is like you just buy gifting crystals and you essentially give them to yourself and you take out the middleman, and it's going to be the same thing, like just a spending units fest. You know, it's like a big annual fundraiser for Kabam. That's probably what it's going to be. But I will tell you from past experience that if you're on a budget, I've found it's better to go big on Cyber Weekends and then just basically do the milestones, like the minimum milestones for gifting, because the difference for gifting to really make a difference on your account, you have to like whale hard, you know? The difference between spending like 3,000 units and 6,000 units in gifting, unless if you get super lucky with the GGCs, is probably not going to make that big of a difference. So I typically, at least last year, the milestones to get everything for Alliance and solo milestones was like 3,500 units, which wasn't that difficult to be able to get to, especially if you have a few units left over from Cyber Weekend or something. So my opinion is like make sure you have units available for gifting, but don't save all of them for it. Like if you can spend a little bit on Cyber Weekend and get some guaranteed deals, that's going to be better than like, oh no, I need to save every last unit for your not gifting or whatever it's called. Just my opinion. That was how I felt when I ranked 3 Doom. Yeah, and the other thing with Doom is the combat power rate. In case you didn't know, the higher rank a champion gets, the more increased their combat power rate is, the amount of power you get from hitting the opponents. And it just has to do with the rank. It doesn't have to do with the rarity. So that's why a rank 5 5-star sometimes feels like it gets more power than a rank 3 6-star, because it actually does. And for a champion like Doctor Doom, he really needs that combat power because it makes the Doom cycle work properly so that you can, reparry and get back to the special threes and stuff like that. And I will tell you, rank 4 Doom is like chef's kiss because like you have enough combat power rate that you can pretty easily stack 2 Furies if you're going for the 2 special threes rotation. So that's quite nice. But yeah, Doom, champions like Cosmic Ghost Rider, who really benefit from combat power rate, and honestly, Kingpin too, because he already has increased combat power rate, but you can just get to that special 2 so fast with a rank 4. Especially if he has some SIG and you're starting with like 3 or 4 debuffs, it's pretty amazing. Okay, we should probably bait a special, otherwise we're gonna die from Mystic Dispersion here. Okay. I thought, let's go back here. I thought Quake's heavy bypassed that AR immunity since you hold the heavy before the fight starts. I don't know if that's how that works. I think Quake is just broken. Because, like, this is a can of worms. But if you read Quake's description, it says that the auto evade, that is like her entire kit, only happens when the concussion is present, and that means technically against debuff immunity and against something that is like not able to be ability reduced and the concussion doesn't show up, that she, like, her whole kit shouldn't work, yet it does. And like Kabam's never going to change it because of like the can of worms amount of worms that would be coming out of the can from that. But yeah, so that's why I say like everything about her is kind of broken. So I wouldn't trust how Quake works. Let's see. I had my back on the ropes for round 3. Was between Doom or Kingpin for Bishop. Nice. I've definitely taken Havocs with Kingpin as well. You do get punished when you shrug those plasmas, but it's almost like he doesn't feel it and you just get it done. So that's the power of the Fat Man. He's quite good in this game. Okay, I'm sensing I'm going to die to Corvus here. We're getting close to the bottom of the rank 5s here. So we may switch over to the other arena soon. Oh man, how did that not kill him? Alright, go down. I'm at 7k right now. Yeah, I mean, see what... It's tough to say. Like, see what you can get from the offers. 7k may be a little light, but like if the 5k offers look like they're decent, it's good value, and then you'll still have 2k left to do for gifting, and you can maybe build up to 3,500, like I said. I value guaranteed value over RNG based. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. For Cyber Weekend, you can get all the deals with approximately 500. For gifting, it seems you need to spend way more to make a difference. Yeah, I mean, actually, I think it's 600 and something to get every single, like, 3 of every deal and then 5 of the lower deals. I think it's usually like $600 to max out everything. But I agree, for gifting, it's you just don't know because you're competing against the biggest whales in the entire game, and then the GGCs are all RNG based. Like, so those people who, I don't know any of them personally, but there were people that we saw screenshots of who went from 1 rank 4 to like 4 or 5 rank 4s by the end of gifting, which was just like at that time absolutely insane. I mean, who knows how much they spent, but it's it's people like you and me, we can't afford that. Even if we were like, I'm gonna actually spend more than usual, like you're not. I mean, we're talking probably 5 figures. Maybe someone can correct me if I'm way off base here, but I'm pretty sure we're talking 5 figures. Quake is not quite OP broken in Marvel Snap. I actually faced my first Quake the other day because I'm starting to get into the Pool 3 decks, I guess is what it's called. And I faced a Quake and she moved around the locations, which is what she does. And it actually cost me the match because I was setting, I wish I could remember what actually happened, but I was setting something up really important in this one area, and then like she switched the areas and it completely like destroyed my entire plan. So I was cursing Quake even in Marvel Snap. Also, hey Madrox, thanks for coming by, man. Alright, so this has been a decent start for first day of Arena. And we haven't gotten BG's rewards yet, right? I just want to make sure. I'm completely in the dark. I have no info about when it's going to be happening. I just know that people are zapping the bad guys, is what I've been calling it. They're getting rid of the bans, and hopefully they do it right compared to Season 1 so that we don't have to worry about, like, secondary compensation. Alright, I think we're good here. Let's quickly update the unit total. Let's see, how do we do that? We are at 6,348 without even getting into any battle chips. So that's not bad. One person, I believe, Max, got top 10 spending. Oh, only 50. I mean, I say only $5,400, but I was expecting it to be like 10 grand or something. But if you think about it, that's a lot of money for a mobile game. I mean, that's like a new. I'm trying to think what would be the equivalent of like $5,400. That would be like, well, in my industry, that would be like buying a new, like a top end keyboard and a bunch of gear for a studio would be that much, which like I know for me, I would have to save money to afford that, and that's like my profession. So that's a lot of money for a mobile game, in my opinion. All right, let's move over to the Shuri Arena. And by the way, I think it's such a vibe that there's this 7-star tab, and there, I mean, that is objectively so many stars. I mean, look how many stars are in that. 7 stars, man. I don't know. It's just too many stars. And like they had to change the font on it because like these 6-star ones fit so perfectly, and then these 7, there's so many stars that they had to make them smaller. I don't know, man. Too many stars. I think in previous years to get in top ranks it was 10 to 50. Yeah, that's what I was remembering, honestly. I was almost sure it was in the 5 figures, but you never know. I would think for like top 10 it would be around there, but I'm sure for like the top, I don't remember what the brackets were, but I think like some of the big spenders that are like people that I'm somewhat familiar with, I think we're trying to get like the top 300 bracket, and they were probably spending thousands, but not like tens of thousands, if that makes sense. Max had a video on it. Cool, I'll watch this video. They should just list it as 7-star. Nice, yeah. It just cracks me up because like it's just so many stars. And like I have no issue with them adding 7 stars to the game. Like obviously it was going to happen someday. When they invented the whole rarity system, I mean, like, you know, 7 comes after 6. It's kind of like, of course someday they would be coming. But it just looks kind of silly in the game. And then on top of it, the logo thing that everybody's been complaining about kind of cracks me up. Like the health bar with the purple and the green and all that stuff. Yeah, sort of wish they went with a slightly different design like some of the soccer clubs do when they've won a bunch of titles. Interesting. I think I know what you're talking about. I think Howell used to spend close to 75k. Holy, that's a lot. That's like a very, very nice car worth of units. That is like a very respectable high-end luxury car for 75k that I would much rather have. Alright, I'm gonna just put the Be Right Back on really quick. I just gotta check something on my phone. Whoops, wrong button. Alright, there we are. Thank you. Just have to make sure everyone's alive that I know. That's always important to check on every once in a while. That's more than I put down for my house. I'm trying to think. I think for me as well. Yeah, I think for me as well. Yeah, that's true. That's more than most people take home an entire year. I think you're right. I don't have like actual numbers for that, but that tracks for what I know at least. It's very, very extravagant to have the kind of disposable income that you can do that. Like for me, anytime I spend in this game, I'm like I completely second guess it, and like that's why this year I've basically not. I've like done barely anything. Like I don't even have the Summoner Sigil or anything. It's just sort of like I was just trying to see what it was like if I was like, hey, I'm just gonna play and have fun and try to not like worry about anybody else except for myself. And it actually was super freeing. And it also means like if I want to not play the game as much, I don't feel as bad because I feel like there's a commitment of like when you spend and like you get these nice things, you're like, well, no, I need to make it worth the money. You know, I don't want to just be in like a place where I'm not using my roster and showing it off and stuff. But for me, like there have been weeks where I will barely log in and it's like totally fine. Okay, these bleeds are gonna hurt if he throws a special one. A couple of hundreds is wailing. Yeah, for me too. Like I said, like I even if I'm buying the $5 unit offer, I'm like, do I really want to spend this $5? You know? And that's why I haven't had Sigil all year too. And like I said, I didn't spend a dime on July 4th or a single unit. And when that was all happening, I had to like go into hiding because I was seeing all these amazing rank ups and all these amazing champion pulls and rank up materials and stuff and like these incredible openings all over YouTube and Discord, and I was just like, ho hum. Hey, Cat Murdock is here. Awesome. Thanks for coming by. As I'm doing this arena match, I'm like, this could go south. Venom the Duck versus Longshot. So I'm glad I was paying attention there. Totally could have like pushed him to special 2 with, what is it called? Pure of Heart. And just like eaten a million incinerates. That would have been fun. Yeah, I second that. I'd love to see one of those Rintra images as a keychain. Always stick around for whale events so you can laugh at me when I pull something horrible. Nice. Yeah. I mentioned this earlier, but the only thing that kept me going was like seeing people. They didn't like spend an outrageous amount, but they bought enough offers that they got so many rank up materials and so many 2 to 3 gems and stuff that they actually couldn't use them all. And I saw like so many stash pictures of 2 to 3 gems like hours away from expiring and people not having enough ISO and gold to rank up. And I felt bad, but I also on the inside was like, ha ha ha. I don't have that problem. But then I was also like, oh no, I wish I had champs to rank and rank up materials. So I probably am going to use like all of these units. If the event is good enough for Cyber Weekend, but you know, we shall see. We shall see. I have a feeling that by next year, things are going to be outrageous because of rank 5s and stuff like that and 7 stars. So like there's also an argument to be had to like save your units for the future, but also YOLO. Like I just want to get something nice right now. Nice. All right, so there you saw it first here. Rintra is coming to the keychain store in a store near you, known as Etsy. That's awesome. I am still rocking my Elsa Bloodstone keychain. And, you know, it actually is the second one because I used the other one so much that I actually wore it down. So I was opening my front door too many times with the Elsa Bloodstone keychain and had to buy a second one. So they don't come with a warranty, but also I'm happy to support an artist. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm trying to figure this out actually. So it said end a buff, and I parried to get rid of his power charge, and that apparently doesn't count as ending a buff. So just learn something new today. I ranked 4 Rintra 2 weeks ago after 2 weeks after his release. Nice. That is commitments. He was my first rank 4 when nobody had one. Awesome. I know that Michael, who does karate, was already praising Rintra even before he had him. So, but I think most people weren't as excited about Rintra as he was. So ranking him that early is actually like a pretty big commitment, man. That's awesome. I have a rank 3 Sig 40, and I'm very happy with him. I seriously may rank 4 him. The only reason I might not rank for him is I feel like he'll just be like an auto ban in BGs. Whereas currently, I feel like I can get away with having him because he's sort of toward the bottom of my deck. And so then I actually get to use him. Yeah, Cat, I think it was probably more on myself than your design. Like I probably had some other garbage in my pocket or something and it like scratched it, knowing me, because I always put like way too many things in my pockets. So there was probably something stupid like a paper clip or something in there. So yeah, definitely on me. The last one is actually doing fine. I keep like trying to like have it out in the open too, so that if there's anyone else who plays MCOC is like they would recognize it. But so far I've never run into any people in the real world that were able to identify it as Cat Murdock art, unfortunately. But also I don't really hang out with, you know, humans that often or go out that much, so there's also that. Hey, Caesar Soze, what's up, man? Nice to see you. I think your alliance mate Zuzu was here earlier, or still is here. I'm doing quite well. I got off of work a little bit early and getting the grind started. Yeah, Unduped is sneaky too. All the way at the bottom of the deck. Love it. Nice. So Captain Easy has the Magneto, the Warlock, and the Ghost keychain. The Magneto one is the one that's like reversible, right? With the white and red mags. That's cool. Love it. I've got that and a bunch of stickers. Rintra is an absolute auto ban in my deck. I have to carry 7 Mystic because Rintra and Tigra are always banned. Yeah, I could see that. For me, Tigra doesn't get banned that much, but it's probably because people know I'm not that good with Tigra. They're like, oh, if this was DLL, I would definitely ban it. But no, it's just Campo. He'll probably die with Tigra anyway. Also, Bloodstone gets banned a ton on my account, though. So I like to think it's maybe because I'm known to use her really well. But I also think it's probably because they're like, wow, this guy ranked forward Elsa. He must know something that I don't. So I'm going to ban her. Baby Paragon. Only 4 to 5 rank 4s. Yeah, that's tough when you are around, you know, 4 or 5, right? Because then it's like you sort of see the bands in front of you, right? Like you're like, well, 3 of the rank 4s are going down. I've taken the last 6 months off from alliances. It's been fantastic and refreshing. Thinking about jumping back in when BG events and updated rewards. How about you with BG rewards? So are you asking like how is it with alliance rewards and stuff? So our alliance has like we have a number of people that got into Gladiator Circuit. And we have a number of people that play Victory Track. And like last season we ended up in the top 10%. And as far as I know, nobody in our alliance is spending money / units besides maybe like a couple units for Elder's Marks. So to me, that's a really good sign because we're not trying to like whale our way to the top. But for just having enough people that sort of casually play Battlegrounds and then a few people that want to push, we ended up with really good rewards last season. And I think that's great because it basically means by playing the mode, you get sort of a guaranteed minimum amount of stuff. And then obviously if you're going really hard, then you should get more stuff. That's how the game works. But I'm never like, oh, we should be getting more. It's not fair. Like, it's like, no, we played a decent amount of Battlegrounds and we got rewarded for it. But me personally, as I'm doing Metal versus Magneto, okay, so we got rid of the Unstoppable, but it didn't really matter. This is gonna be annoying. This is the trick with Magneto, by the way. If you're Metal and you have to deal with this, you do a light attack in the corner, and then you put the cooldown on. You put the Unstoppable on cooldown. In case you didn't know that. This fight's going to take forever, though. I don't know why I matched it. This is really good MCOC content right here. Just Metal versus Magneto in Arena. This is what everyone wants to see. Okay, it'd be nice if like one of these hits crit. Oh my god, if we die after all that, I'm gonna be so mad. We're totally gonna die, oh no. YOLO. Oh my god, after all that I died, dude. That is the worst. I would ban DLL's whole deck. Nice. Yeah, DLL is a monster for BGs. I do not want to face his deck. I usually just panic and yell. Well, at least we all learned something. And the thing we learned was do not match Metal against Magneto. It's a bad time. And Pi wasn't even there to see Angela being used, so he's missing out. Well, that I wonder if someone could calculate how many units of I just lost by losing one arena match. It's probably like 1.7 units of wasted time right there. So I think the grind is over. We should just quit and go home with our tail between our legs. We'll never get to 18k now. As I'm facing these guys, I should probably go to the rank 3s because I'm kind of facing an uphill battle here. Oh well. Okay, please don't glance my heavy attack. There we go. Got a good instant bleed. Nice to see it. Oh, Caesar had a question. I'm kind of stuck on who to rank 4. I'll have 9.5 of each catalyst. Whoa, 9.5. So you mean like you'll have three rank 4s worth of champions? Or do you mean tier 5 class catalysts? If that's rank 4 materials of each, that's a lot. 3 rank 4s, jeez. So let's think about this. So Eternity of Pain is actually going to end in December sometime, and that will be after whatever happens with Cyber Weekend. So for me, I have no idea what my account will even look like by then. 3 rank 4s worth, my goodness. So, Caesar, do you... I forgot, is Rintra and Hulkling already rank 4? Because I know you've got them, and those seem somewhat obvious. And then, I know you've got Quicksilver, too. Actually, I should transition to the rank 4s here. I'm punching up. Okay, so how do we do that? Like this? There we go. All right. Nice, Rags. That's good. Your MCOC art inspired me to sketch for the first time in about 20 years. Much thanks. As an artist, that's got to be like one of the best compliments you could get. So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Rags. So since I'm a musician, when people say like, "Oh, I'm tone deaf and I can't sing and stuff," I'm always like, "Of course you can. Everybody can sing and things like that." But then if someone asks me to like do art, I'm like, I really can't draw, and I mean it." So, yeah, I could probably be taught, but definitely the artistic skills for myself are very much not there. I think Caesar should rank for Reed Richards, actually. What do you think about that, dude? Hey, Snoops, what's up, man? Thanks for coming by. Snoops, I don't remember if I told you, but I did officially start a New Game Plus file in Elden Ring like 2 days ago. And yeah, this is prep for Cyber Weekend. I have a bit of a lofty goal of getting to 18K, but I don't know if 2,000 units in 1 week is possible for me. I know it is possible. In fact, Cat showed me earlier her extensive notes when she was grinding units for potential Medusa acquiring back on 4th of July. So I know it is humanly possible. I'm just not sure if it is Campo possible, given what I have to do over the next week. But we're trying to start off with a nice grind going here. Alright, so Caesar's got Kingpin and Quicksilver. Cool. Kingpin and Quicksilver. I forgot, Caesar, did you get Valkyrie? If you got Valkyrie, if I were you, I would rank for her. I think she is one of the best champions that you could possibly get out of this crystal. And the one I want the most. Yeah, I thought you would say that, Kat. I guess you're right. I just need to like actually try drawing and practicing. Reed rank 4, maybe it's my 5th science. Dude, I've seen you do some amazing things with Reed and War, and you know it. That last season in SSX, I think I assigned you Reed one time, and you won the fight. what more could you ask for? The cool thing about the champs this year is I feel like you can make an argument for rank 4 any single champ that's been released in 2022. Like, if somebody's like, I really love Misty Knight, I'm like, do it, man. She's amazing. Or like Sauron or something. I mean, a rank 4 Sauron would be a menace on defense, and he's pretty fun to play. So, I mean, like, even the champs that aren't as popular, I feel like you can't really go wrong. I do a Valkyrie Sig 40. Yeah, man, I don't know. I think go to Bittersteel's channel if you don't know Bittersteel. Okay, looks like we might get kicked out of the game. I'm seeing the Wi-Fi symbol of death. Okay, there we go. What was I saying? I already forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, Valkyrie. Go to Bittersteel's channel. He just took a rank 4 Gallon boss with Valkyrie in Alliance War, and it was amazing. So you should totally check that out. Yes, Snoops. I did Age of Stars ending. Because I just whatever Ronnie says, I will do it. And that's why I did that. So this time around, I don't know, but it's kind of fun just like going through the landscape with kind of ridiculous stats and just kind of like boss rushing through my second time. It's been kind of fun. See, this is why people don't ban Tigra in Battlegrounds for me. We just have to get out of these like Thanos teams range. Without recoil on, these are kind of a nightmare. They just take a while. Alright, and he's down. I went full 7 with Reed and a Mangog on 54. Nice. That's right, I remember that war. Logan just took Sauron to rank 4. Nice. I didn't know that. And I will never do a friendly with him. That dude destroyed Scorp with her. Oh yeah, yeah. Bittersteel also did that. Yep. Did you do the mandatory update yet? Are you talking about Elden Ring update or MCOC update? I'm trying to. I feel like the game naturally updated to 1.07 for me, which at least with the weapons I'm using didn't really change anything. That is what I tell people. Drawing is a skill. That means anyone can learn it. Being good, however, will need talent. Yeah. Talent is like one of those weird things, right? Because some people have. I'm going to get like philosophical now. So just, turn off the sound if this is too much for you. But like, certain people have like aptitude to be really good at something. Like it comes more naturally to them. But even so, most of the time, the equivalent of talent is like really putting in hard work and being able to focus and, perfecting something. But some people start off like with a certain aptitude for a skill that gives them an easier time to get there. Like if for drawing, like if you can just visualize things in your mind's eye better than the average person. So yeah, and I think that's true with music too. But obviously, if it comes more naturally to you, you're going to probably be more motivated to continue to pursue it. So that's probably the factor when people talk about talent. But I do think a good amount of it is just putting in the time. Oh, thanks, Zuzu, for the bots. I don't know why that keeps happening. Oh, there's an MCOC update. Okay. Okay, I get it. Sorry. I think that was delayed. You were asking when I saw the Wi-Fi symbol of death. So we should probably update the game. Depends on what champions you already have, but in general, what are the best dual class crystals to go for? I feel like Mystic and Science, like in a vacuum, is one of the better ones. But like you said, it really depends on the types of champs that you have. But Science, like so many of the really good Science champions need to be awakened. So it's possible that, you know, if you do a Science and Mystic one, that you could get a first time awakening of a champ that you need. You could get the first copy of a champ that you need from Science. And then Mystic is arguably one of the most powerful classes in the game. And there's a lot of overlap. So like if you don't have a neutralized champ, now Wiccan, Rintra, and Tigra are all in that crystal. That's pretty good. So without thinking too hard, that's what I would go with. Tigra Masterclass, I'm taking notes. Hey, that's mean. Nah, I put myself up to that. Yeah, sorry about the bots. Yeah, Zuzu and Caesar, you guys are alliance mates in case you didn't know that. Hey, B McG is here. What's up, my friend? Nice to see you. Yate is saying Tech Cosmic out of my own personal bias issues. That's right. Tom is trying to get Silver Centurion dupe really badly. And I don't blame him. That's a really cool champ. But unfortunately, the Kabam overlords have not been very kind when it comes to the Silver Centurion department for Tom. So hopefully on Cyber Weekend you can get some good luck there. So I don't know how good the noise canceling is on this microphone filter that I have, but there's definitely a truck that's been backing up outside my window for like the last minute, so hopefully that's not too distracting. So Zuzu, Caesar's in one of the like HC alliances now, I think. So I think you guys may actually be in the same alliance. We all kind of left SSX around the same time. We all, I don't know. I feel like there's been a few times where I've decided I'm going to take a break and then a lot of people follow me. And that's kind of what happened. There's sort of a group of us that left all around the same time. But I think everybody else was sticking around just because of like momentum, and then we were all feeling a little burnt out. But SSX is 3-0 right now in war, so they're doing really well. Kabam overlords have diagnosed me with Terrax. Well, Terrax is a pretty awesome champion, man. So give him a try. He's good on offense and defense. No, BMcG, don't leave. Yeah. No, it's always good to see you on a stream, man. One of my true good friends in the game, of which I have many, but he's a great guy. Who's your favorite boss? That's a tough question, Snoops. So I really liked Horaloo, like the Godfrey First Elden Lord. I really liked that boss. I thought that one was really fun, like the two phases. So that might be up there. And this one's a little weird because it's not like a major boss, but I really liked fighting Loretta at the Halleck Tree because I had already faced her in the Carrier Manor before, and like so you kind of already were used to her moveset, but then she came back with some new tricks. And I just remember like especially because of what comes after that in the Halleck Tree, like it was just a really fun boss to go up against, and like I liked her moveset better than the Tree Sentinels and stuff, so it's kind of a weird one. But I did really enjoy fighting her, so that's without thinking too hard. That's my answer. But so many of the bosses were so good. And I think, the Morgott boss was really good too. That's really fun. I know Bryce said that was his favorite boss just from like a lore perspective and fight design perspective, and I agree with him there too. That was a really fun boss. I did not like the Fire Giant. That was one of my least favorite experiences, and I think it was just because of my build at the time. Like I just wasn't doing that much damage. We are talking Elden Ring in case chat doesn't realize. We all have our white whale champs that never come. I still do not have 5 or 6 star ghosts. That's crazy, man. I don't have 6 star Nick Fury. He's sort of my white whale. And I actually didn't have the 5 star for a super long time as well. Oh, cool. We picked up 3 star Shuri. That's good. Yeah, Nick Fury is one of those champs that I just kind of like assume I just am not gonna ever get, and that's okay. I actually tried to grind for him, but then I had to like really slow down the grind, and I ended up missing by like 10 million points or something. Elden stream, yeah, I would actually love to. I would love to stream Hollow Knight as well, but I am very technologically not savvy. So it took me a really long time to figure out how to do mobile device streaming, and I don't know if my computer is powerful enough to be able to like mirror Xbox, but we'll see. Maybe someday in the future. That sounds like a really good summer project. Okay. Did I just hit the wrong button or did I get kicked out? Tips or tricks to grinding for units in arena. So I'll just tell you what I'm doing today. And this is just like if I'm going for units, I always start with the basic arena, which is the one that the 5 and the 6 stars get the same amount of points. And I basically go through I like set up a streak and then I go through all my 565s and get them all together, which usually amounts to like close to 2 million points for me. And then what I'm doing now is I go back to the other arena and I do this is the featured arena, which where the 6 stars get the full points, and I basically try to run the entire roster on day one. You know, this is like if I'm really doing a big grind. And then once that is set up, then you're already like really well along on this arena. And then over the rest of the arena, it's basically like when your 6 stars are on cooldown, just use them until you get to the max 12 million points. And then kind of do the same in the 5-star arena. Like, because I started the 5-star arena today, before I go to bed, the 565s are going to come off cooldown. So I can do another round of just the 565s. And that can come pretty close to finishing the arena for me. And then the real annoying grind is, of course, the one in the Summoner Trials, because it's just a slog. But I will say the first milestones are the easiest ones to pick up. So if you have like 0 time, if you do like 7 rounds in the Summoner Trials, then you'll actually get whatever 13 times 3 is units. 39 units from the first 3 milestones. So, like if I'm like, oh no, I haven't done any arena and I have like 20 minutes before the arena's over, what should I do? I would just do like 6 or 7 rounds in the Summoner Trials, and then you'll get the first 3 milestones, and at least it's like a chunk. So Zuzu, now that you know that Caesar's in your alliance, you need to tag him for AQ movement, like at times when AQ is off. Just be like, Caesar, clear. That's part of the responsibility. You have to do that. Let's see. I'm with Bryce on Morgoth. From a lore perspective, he's undoubtedly my favorite. As for the fight itself, I think Malekith is my favorite. Godfrey is up there as well. Nice. Yeah, Malekith is pretty fun. And the complaint about Fire Giant is a fairly common one. He can be super rough. Yeah. It was funny because like after I got the Fire Giant down, I like watched some videos of other people taking him down, and it looks so much easier than what I was doing. And I was like, "Oh, I should have like gone on my horse and just gotten behind him and just like spammed hits on the back of his foot or something." Because like, you know, I think I was spending too much time underneath him in the second phase and then just getting like one shot. But it looked like a lot of other people they weren't fighting on their horse, but they were using the horse to like get around him and stuff, which probably would have made it a little bit easier. So when I go, oh, I thought I killed Yellow Jacket. I just put my phone down. That was funny. Oh yeah, Medusa made it out. As soon as I joined Cat's Alliance, I ranked 3'd Medusa. It was like paying tribute, saying thank you for allowing me in. At least in my head, that's why I did it. I don't know if anyone else in the world noticed. But she is a very good champ. Campo join AQ. Got too much power for Man-Thing here. Let's see. I probably have about like 5 or 10 more minutes and then I gotta get going. But this has certainly been fun. I'm gonna ping him on a day off when AQ would almost end. Yeah, or like on an off day of AQ. He really likes that. Malekith kicked my butt so bad. He's so cool. A lot of people use bleed on Fire Giant because his health pool is massive and the bleed deals flat percentage. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm trying to think, when I was there, I think I had Bloodhound's Fang at like +9, and that was like my only bleed weapon. But I actually, I was really into colossal swords, so I used the great sword, like the colossal great sword, and because that was level 9 or 10 by then, and I put on Poison Mist, Ash of War, and I just like spammed that and poisoned him. Which isn't as good as bleed, I agree, but it's at least something. And that kind of worked. I was able to like set the status effect, and then at least he was kind of like slowly killing himself. But yeah, bleed is like really OP in the game. I used bleed for Melania. I actually like completely respect for that and went into like a quality build with Bloodhound's Fang for that fight because I just wasn't doing enough damage. How? I don't think I'm going to get through all the rank 3s, unfortunately, but this is a pretty solid start. Maybe I'll open the battle chips. I don't really do these big arena streams. I don't know, like, are you supposed to open the battle chips as you go, or are you supposed to do it like when the whole thing is over? I feel like I should open them as I go so that it looks like I'm making progress. That's just my opinion. But yeah, for Elden Ring, I have to decide what ending I'm going to go for. I think like the typical second playthrough is to do Frenzied Flame though, right? Just like get that out of the way. But that's such a bad ending. It's so hard to stay motivated to grind out arenas. It is. And I'm just lucky that I have a channel that I can stream and hang out with my friends and do it instead. Last night I had like actual ambition to do arena, and it was like maybe 9 or 9:30, and I was like, all right, I've got some time. I can put up some points before the arena resets. And then all of a sudden it was like midnight and I hadn't done any, and I was like, what happened? And I was like, well, I was playing Marble Snap and I don't know, cleaning the kitchen and like sitting around just like in Discord doing nothing. And I was like, oh, I could have been doing arena. Frenzied Flame is my favorite. Nice. You're like the Joker, you just like to watch things burn. Yeah, my first playthrough, I mean, obviously there's some stuff that was impossible to not spoil just because the internet exists, but after the first playthrough, I actually kind of went on a pretty hard, like, what's it called? Like, lore video, watching spree. So like I basically have the entire game spoiled now, like even the stuff that I haven't done, just because I was really interested in the lore and all that. I'm pretty sure that's fairly typical. That, you know, going into your second playthrough, you're kind of like knowing everything to expect, but it is still really enjoyable going through the second time. I know the debate's going to start between if it's going to be God of War or Elden Ring for Game of the Year this year. I don't know enough about God of War because I don't have a PlayStation, but I mean, I think from a design perspective, it has to be Elden Ring. That's just my opinion. Unless if they're just going for like story and cinematics and like voice acting, then I think God of War would win, but I don't think that's the most important part of a game. Ha, nice. All right, so we'll have to have a side conversation about how Frenzy Flame is actually a good ending. That's awesome. That's the cool thing about the story is it's sort of open-ended enough that like there's room for interpretation. They don't just like spoon feed the story to you. Yeah, good point, Kat. I just think Elden Ring, like at least from what I've heard from, I haven't played other From Software games, but it just seems like they took what existed as like a really good game model and they just like blew it up and turned it into something completely different and customizable and open world. Obviously, it seems like they really innovated with it. And at least what I've seen from God of War is it's basically like another God of War game, which is an amazing game, right? But it's like kind of the same formula as what you would expect from a new God of War game. Because I've watched a couple people stream it and stuff. Yeah, if best narrative is a reward is a award, which I don't know enough about gaming awards. I think you can't argue because the story and the cutscenes and the voice acting, like even just the fact that the mouths move to the words in God of War, whereas in Elden Ring, like it's a little lazy. Like they obviously spent a lot more game dev time on like the actual gameplay and the itemization and the boss fights and everything. Because like when the people talk in Elden Ring, their mouths don't line up. So yeah, God of War, I think for story, for voice acting, for cinematics and all that stuff, it's 100%. That's true. Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll see. I don't follow like Game of the Year stuff that often because I usually don't play that many console games. I typically do like one big console game a year. Last year it was Hollow Knight, which is hands down my all-time favorite game. I've talked about that before. That's just like, yeah, hands down favorite game. But Elden Ring was the most enjoyable game I've played recently too. That's awesome. I didn't play the 2018 one because again, I don't have PlayStation. I played like the original. It was the first one on PlayStation 2, whatever the first one was I had. So I'm somewhat familiar with like the archetype, but I didn't play any of the modern ones. So I'm not really an authority on most things console game related. Like I said, Hollow Knight and Elden Ring are literally the only two games I've 100%ed in the last 2 years. Yeah, I remember. I mean, probably the main reason I even got Elden Ring was because you all were having so much fun in Vegas Discord, and probably beyond, like in other chats and stuff too. But I was like, oh my god, there was like true FOMO setting in there. Other people having a ton of fun while I was just here grinding MCOC or something. Yeah, it was the first playthrough of Elden Ring, at least for me, was just so magical though. I loved it. Yeah, I gotta get a PlayStation. I know. I mean, Christmas is coming, but I did also just get a new tattoo, which is like multiple PlayStations, unfortunately. Well, that's probably false, but at least one PlayStation worth. I need to find room for it in my console table because I already have a Switch and an Xbox. The annoying thing would be like I don't think I have enough HDMI cables, so I'd have to like anytime I switch systems, I'd have to do the whole uh going underneath and like changing the cords around thing, which is really annoying. Yes, I did. I got the beginning of a Hollow Knight sleeve on my left arm, and it's technically a cover up. So it's like it. The first session was pretty involved with lots of dark black ink and stuff for the cover up before we added color. So it was like a 5 hour session. I thought I shared it in the other games channel of Vegas server. I don't remember if I did. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it started. It's looking really good. Oh, maybe I didn't show it there. I feel like I shared it around other chats. I must have forgotten to do it in Vegas server. But yeah, it's good. I'm really into it. The artist, it's just basically like line work, and then the cover up is like a bunch of sort of dark shaded areas. Yeah, I'll double check. I'll definitely post the picture. Right now it's looking really gnarly though. I don't know if you've ever gotten a tattoo, but like about a week after you get it, it just looks really bad and you're just like, "Oh my god, this is never going to be normal again." But then it heals and everything's fine. This is a funny fight. We're both just like reducing our abilities and shocking each other. Alright, I think I need to do other real life stuff now. So I'm going to just pop the battle chips and we'll update the... Oh wait, I have one more fight. I thought I was done. And then we'll do the battle chips and we'll just sort of update that. And then I'll probably join AQ real quick and then get on with my day. But before I sign off, I definitely want to say thank you to everybody for coming by. It's always nice to see some familiar faces in chat. Oh yeah, that is that Tegaderm stuff? Is that like thing that looks like clear cellophane that you put over it? The last tattoo I got was also pretty big, and that my artist actually gave me some of that. This time around, they just bandaged it, and they told me to take off the bandage after like a few hours, and then just clean it and moisturize it. Yeah, the tattoo is, if you've ever played the game Hollow Knight, it's the Mantis Lords, who are probably my favorite boss from the game. So it's really cool. And I'm probably gonna turn it into a half sleeve over time, like add other images to it and stuff. But yeah, that's a good shout to go to Amazon for that too. I know there's lots of different philosophies of tattoo healing, but let's see. Let's make sure we get some loyalty. Wait, did I just see? I think I just saw something. Rob Von Schu reached rank 2 on their 6-star Electra. I wonder if Rob is going for a Electra run for Eternity of Pain. That would be cool. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, so we got 3-star Shuri. I started the day with 16082. So we've already got 300 units. Let's pop some crystals. Do our daily Paragon first. And just confirming, have BG's rewards come in yet? No. Okay. Yeah, if BG's rewards came in, we would definitely open those, but that's not going to happen. We don't have any 6 stars to open, so we're not going to deal with that. But let's see how bad the battle chips are. I always go for the lowest denominator ones. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but this is how I do it. I get 20 and I wait for the little shiny thing to come closest to me, and then I hit go. And usually I get some amount of units. So 15 is obviously low, but this is out of superstition. This is how I always do it. I get 20 and then I look for the little shiny thing until it bounces back here. Then I hit go, and that time we got none. Okay, that's bad. So we got to reset our luck. Is this the last batch? Yeah. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, dude, we got screwed. We only got 15 units out of that. All right. All right, we have to double down and do the final 10. Or the final 10K or whatever it is. Okay, our timing was off. But, all right, there we go. 75. I'll take it. Okay, so the new total is... 16,483. Okay, so that's not that bad for like a little half grind like that. What shiny thing are you looking at? It's the shiny thing that's in my head that no one else can see. No, there's a little flashing light that goes across the bottom of the crystal screen, and it kind of like pulsates, and then sometimes it makes it all the way to like right under the crystal, and it bursts in a flash of light. And I always try to open it right as it's about to hit. Unfortunately, I can't show it again because I'm out of crystals. But I don't know. That's how I've been doing it since 2016. So that's just how it is. Hey, True Potential, what's up, man? A former X23 lover himself. And yes, indeed, I am using X23 for Eternity of Pain. I don't think I'm going to get a video out because usually if you don't get the video out within the first like 4 hours, it does terribly. But I do have a rank 1 X23, and I also have my old 455 that I used to clear Labyrinth with. So one of them is hopefully going to get a solo or a relatively cheap, couple revive try. So far, I haven't had a good run with her. I just keep messing up and getting evaded and stuff. So we'll have to see. Let's see. I think the lowest ones you get more units. I think mathematically it should all be a wash, but I like having more chances at any number of units, if that makes sense. So that's why I always go for the low ones. They seem to work out. Well, anyway, thanks everybody. Thanks for coming by. Thanks, Tom. Let's see. I think we have to give Cat a wrench, by the way, as my alliance leader. So she's been coming to the streams lately, and as a celebrity in the MCOC community, we gotta give that wrench out. So there you go. We have a new moderator for the chats, which is awesome. And yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for coming by. True Potential, nice to see you again as well. Square Lock, I think you and Punjabi have been here the whole time, which I really appreciate. Snoops, nice to geek out about Elden Ring, of course. I will always talk about that, and maybe one day I'll actually stream it. Big thanks to Zuzu, moderator extraordinaire, as well as Caesar, who was here for a while. And I think that's going to do it for today. So, yeah, all right, she got her wrench, so it worked. Time to ban everyone. Oh no, I can giveth and taketh away. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Anyway, it's really good to see you all. Thanks for hanging out while we did some arena grinding. I don't think I'll be streaming again till next week, possibly Monday or Tuesday, but then it's like Thanksgiving and I probably won't do any streaming. So have a great day and I'll catch you in the next one.